I had this conversation with this girl on Bumble one time that red-pilled me harder than anything that's ever red-pilled me in my entire life about dating and intergender dynamics, relationship advice. Back in the day when I didn't know anything, I did not understand anything about dating. I didn't understand why girls liked one guy and didn't like why girls liked the Chad guy and they didn't like the Sheldon guy. And I got like some minimal success based off of, my basic kind of decent looks and slightly above average height, but I never really killed it with the girls that I was really interested in. I've heard people say, like, you see a girl reading a magazine and you think about if you should try to riz the girl reading the magazine, but truthfully, you want the girl in the magazine. So I never had any success with the girls in the magazines. I got some success here and there with the girl reading the magazine. But I had this phase for like 5 years after I first started getting into like dating and liking girls where I was like, I'm never gonna hook up. I'm never gonna do this. I'm never gonna do anything before I'm in a serious relationship. I just want to have serious relationships. And I was trying to take all these girls on these really serious dates, and I didn't understand anything, and I could not keep them interested in me. And they might like me at first based on my decent looks, but I was a total dork. I did not understand how to communicate with them. I did not understand how to escalate at all. And so then I got frustrated, and I remember coming to this point where I was like, I just got to start hooking up. Like, I just got to start hooking up as much as possible, and I'm going to learn all this stuff. And the way to do that is I just have to be honest, because, of course, this is like what people would say on Twitter back in the day or whatever. You would see, like, some girl saying, men, we just want you to be honest. That's all we want. It's like, we want men to be honest and tell us exactly what they want. Those are the types of guys that we want or whatever. So I was like, okay, the way to do this, the way to hook up, the way to get laid is to just tell girls, I'm just trying to hook up, like, from square one. So I remember on my Bumble profile at the time, I changed it to, like, just looking for something casual. And you can change, like, what you're looking for. You can put, like, looking for marriage, looking for a serious relationship, looking to hook up. And I put, like, the looking to hook up thing. And then my bio also said, like, not looking for anything serious, just looking for some fun. And take a wild guess at how my results were. Absolutely terrible. No girl was interested in that. I got no attention. I actually got so much further and so much more attention from girls when I didn't put that in my bio as opposed to when I was saying, hey, I literally just trying to hook up. And the thing that changed my mind about this, the thing that completely red-pilled me and absolutely blew my mind, changed my mind forever, was this conversation that I had with this girl. Well, I never even met this girl. I never ended up meeting this girl in person. I had a conversation with this girl, like, lasted about 10 messages on Bumble, and then I blocked her because I was, like, upset about it and angry that I thought this girl was crazy. She told me a truth about women, and I thought she was insane. I thought this girl was, like, off her rocker. Like, she had a gas leak in her house, and she was legit sick. Like, she was sick in the head. I thought that was what was wrong with this girl. She in her bio, it said, like, only looking for something serious. I want a serious relationship. I just don't want a man who's playing any games or something like that. And I remember we matched, and I thought, just must have been a mistake. She just won't message me or whatever. And then she messages me, and she's like, hi, smiley face, whatever. And I was like, oh, well, I got to be honest here. I'm just looking to hook up. So I see that your bio says whatever, just only looking for a marriage. Don't date me. Don't try to take me on a date if you're not looking for marriage. And I said, so I think we're looking for different things. I should just be on my way here. Have a good day. And I was about to just, like, block her, unmatch her right there. But then she messaged me back and she was like, oh, that's too bad. And I was like, what do you mean that's too bad? You were literally telling me right here. It says in your bio that you're only looking for a serious relationship. And she was like, but you're cute. And I was like, what is this? But you said that you're only looking for a serious relationship. So what are we doing here? I'm sorry. We're just looking for different things. And then I can't believe, like, I don't know what was up with this girl, why she must have been really desperate or something. I don't know. But she explained all of this stuff to me. She explained all of the confusion that I had at the time. She just goes, oh, you really think girls just want to be told straight up that they, like, hey, I'm trying to fuck. I'm trying to have, and she's like, why would a girl accept that? Because that just makes girls feel easy. If you go out and you say, hey girl, I'm trying to fuck. I'm trying to get it. And then girls will think, oh, you think I'm that easy? Ew, like, don't bring that around me. I don't even know who you are. You just threw that in my face. I'm not that easy. I'm not. She said a fantasy, the fantasy of women, the whole game plan, the excitement, the mystique, the mystery about it is being on a date with a guy and you don't know what's happening. You think he's just a really good guy and he just wants to marry you, or he puts out that front at first. He makes you believe that. And then he flips you. He seduces you. He rizzes you. He shows you that he's Superman and you fall in love. And it ends up being this beautiful thing where you had this barrier up. You had this wall up that you weren't willing to pull down for any man. And he didn't force himself on you. You willingly took your wall down because he used his mystique and his riz to charm you and to seduce you and get you into bed. And this girl explained all of this to me. She was like, girls don't ever want to be told that you just want to get with them. They want to go on a date with a guy who seems like a good mama's boy, a church boy who's got his stuff together. And he's a gentleman, but he's not too soft. And one thing leads to another, and there's a mystery about where is this going? Is this guy secretly kind of devious? Is this guy actually a tough, a cool guy? Is he an alpha? Is he actually gonna make me pull down my wall that I have? Because that's the exciting part. The exciting part is being like, oh my gosh, he found me out. He found me out and he was able to seduce, he was able to win me over. Even though I said I wasn't gonna do it. Even though I said that's not what I'm looking for. And this girl explained all of that to me. And long story short, at first I remember I was like, yo, girls are insane. I was like, this girl's crazy. This girl is insane. What's wrong with this girl? And I remember I blocked this girl because I thought she was insane. And now I should thank her because she woke me up. That was the biggest red pill that I've ever had in my life. And it was a huge turning point, actually, after I first got upset. That's usually how, I feel like that's usually how, like, arguments or disagreements go. People don't really change their mind. Generally don't change their mind at all, but they definitely don't change their mind in the moment. Usually people leave angry, and then whatever is in their head, like, it's whatever the other person said, if it struck a chord with them, it's in their head for, like, weeks and weeks because there was some truth to that, and they're realizing that. And then you come around, like, a month later, and you're like, you know, maybe they were kind of right. Because it hurts in that moment to admit that somebody's right. But then if it's, like, a month later, and you thought about it, and you're kind of like, oh, well, I kind of came to this conclusion on my own, even though you put it in my head, it's a lot easier to accept that. So anyways, that was me, like, a month later. I was like, maybe that girl was right. And then I went the route of, and I don't say this to brag. This is kind of embarrassing. Obviously, it's very embarrassing for me to just say this stuff, but I'm putting it out there, obviously, in the world to help all the other men around the world understand this and improve their lives. Because, of course, going through this whole journey and learning that, without learning that, I never would have been where I am now, where I'm in a very happy relationship with a beautiful, incredible woman. I never would be here now if I didn't learn this other stuff and learn how to date and learn how to understand the female mind in the first place. So, like, I don't say this stuff to brag. I'm saying I had a lot more success after I learned that, and I got this idea ingrained in my mind that that's kind of just what women do. They say one thing and they mean another thing. And it's not because they're liars, and it's not because they're devious and they're manipulative. And it's because, I mean, this is a topic for a different video. I'm not going to get into all of the details, but based on their evolution, they need to communicate implicitly as opposed to explicitly. Part of that being, if you're a man and you communicate and you disagree explicitly with somebody, you get into a fight, you fight back. If you do that as a woman, you might get killed or whatever. So you need to save yourself. You need to save yourself from the consequences. I mean, that's just like really one really, really small piece of the puzzle. So if somebody's thinking, well, there's actually this and this and this, topic for a different video, we don't need to get into it. But that's, the more you freak out and say, I just want women to be honest. I just want women to tell me what they want. Or women should want me to be honest. Or women say they want me to be honest, but then they don't follow through on it. Dude, you're fighting a losing battle. They're never going to communicate 100% explicitly with you. And they don't, if they're going to be interested in you, they don't want you to be this guy who comes up and is just like, hey bro, hey girl, I want to fuck. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to clap those cheeks, girl. Because, of course, if they say, okay, yeah, here we go, then that makes them feel easy. And girls don't want to feel easy. That makes them feel gross. But if you can come up and you're just the gentleman, yeah, of course, I'm just kind of seeing what's out there. You don't want to lie, of course, too. You don't want to be the liar, and you don't want to be like, yeah, no, I'm looking for marriage, of course. I'm just, no, what you would say is you just say, like, I'm just trying to have a good time and see what's out there, and I can make up my mind based on the person and kind of how we vibe or whatever. And most people will see that as a reasonable response, and then you present yourself as a gentleman, and you are a gentleman, of course. It doesn't make you not a gentleman or not a good guy because you want to get freaky from time to time, but you go on this date with this girl and you treat her well, and like I say, you are a gentleman, but you have to have that side in you, that manly alpha side that knows when to drop the riz, how to riz, and how to seduce. And that is what women are craving. They're not craving a guy who's just going to tell them straight up, hey, this is what we're going to do and whatever, because like I said, that's not playing their game. That's not making them feel very good about it anyways. So I hope I was explaining this stuff clear enough for people to understand, because right now I'm thinking I'm kind of crazy. I don't know, guys. My head's been all over the place lately, but anyways, just a little yap for today. I'm on a walk in Tokyo. Thank you guys for watching. yungjamesYT@gmail.com. If you are interested in hitting me up or sending me a video topic, I'll probably get back to you. Peace out.